jack up barge. So basically he's got like big four arms on it, and it jacks itself up and down. When the tide comes up, they'll bring the jacks down and then it'll float up the river. Got your crane there to load it all up. This is the hydraulic barge getting all ready to get floated up to the iron bridge. The reason why they're loading it all up on the square and everything is because they won't be able to get the crane or the equipment close enough to the river to load the barge up, basically. There's the crane there. So basically, once the barge is all kitted up and everything, with everything they need, they're going to float it all up the river, all the way to the iron bridge that I filmed the other day. I'll be going up to the iron bridge in a minute to see what progress has happened up there, but they're currently going to repair the iron bridge. I'm not entirely sure how they're going to do it and everything, because I'm not really a bridge professional like that, but it's a serious nice bit of kit, seriously. That's probably very expensive to set up and everything. I know the crane driver's on £25 plus an hour, so yeah, it's a lot of money. So I'm currently teleported to the iron bridge. I'm actually in Rock Park, just walking up to it now. I don't use that word teleported, it makes me feel a bit magic. Well, anyway, I thought come and have a look at the iron bridge, see what progress they've taken, but there's somebody coming along, so I'm going to cut the footage. So I'm currently at the iron bridge in Rock Park, and they built this sort of scaffold pier going out to the river. Now annoyingly I can't get on it because, well, they've blocked it off, and I'm assuming I'm not allowed to go on it, and well, I'm not really interested in going on it anyway. You can see what it is from here. But I'm going to go down a bit. That's better. So they've used ratchet straps to strap it to the sort of marshland next to the river, and if you're wondering why they're setting up on the square ready to float it up the river, well, as you can see, there isn't really anywhere close enough to the river that the crane can set up and unload all the equipment, so that's why they're loading up on the square, and then they're going to float it up to here and try and mend the iron bridge. Goody. Well, I'm not going on it because they're working on it and I don't really want to get caught, but I'll stick my hand through the bars. I'll stick my phone through the bars so you can just make it look like I'm stood on it. And yeah, there she is. Not much has gone on up here. That's all I can really say. But now, basically, so from the other bit of footage you've just watched, they're setting up on the square, and they're going to float it up to the river to up here, where they're going to do the repairs on the iron bridge. As I keep stating, the reason why they're setting it up on the square is, well, as you can see, where you're supposed to set up a crane, and all this here, this grassy area here, is old landfill, so you can't exactly set up massive cranes, and if you did, it ain't going to reach the river anyway. But I mean, this is what the area looks like, all this green here. I suppose you could set a crane up here, but you still ain't going to be able to reach the river with it, and even if you could reach the river with it, it's just going to be a bit dangerous and silly, like lifting heavy loads. So yeah, it's just a damn sight easier to do it on the square and float it up the river. I think on a future video I want to film the next bridge up, because there's another iron bridge in Banstaple very similar to this one, and that one's quite interesting, but it's still got a live train going over it. So yeah, I don't fancy going on it, especially if I can get a fine, but it's a bit far away for my liking. The train used to actually come along here, and I've just walked. Well, the iron bridge is at the end of this track. I've just walked to the other end of the track, and the bridge used to be right here where these steps are. There used to be a bridge going over here, taking the train to the top of the hill. But annoyingly, the bridge that used to be here, there ain't no more evidence of it, and it's been totally taken down way before I was even born. Yeah, so basically they used to have a bridge coming right past over here. They used to take the train up the top of this hill here. But for a little bit of history for you, I'm just walking up past Park School, the secondary school I used to go to. But for a little bit of history, back in the 1940s, all the children from the cities were evacuated from the cities and brought down into the countryside, which this would have been classed as the countryside back then, because the town was like half the size of what it was now. And all the kids were brought down here on all the train lines that we used to have, because back in the war there was a train here, and they would have been brought here and unloaded off the train, taken into that red building over there, that old red building with the slash windows. I'm hoping the school kids ain't in the schools, because I don't particularly want to be filming this school with school kids in it. But yeah, that red building there, they were taken in there, and in there there's the original school hall. That building there with the red windows, that's the more modern hall, the hall that was built when my mother went there, to that matter. But the red building, the red brick building over there, was part of the original school. I'll go up to the gate so you can have a better look. But for a bit of history for you, when the children were evacuated in the war, they were brought into this red building over there, and I'm assuming they probably went through that doorway you can sort of see next to that bin, and they would have been taken in there where the school hall used to be. I know when I went to the school, it was actually a library. When I went to the school, it turned it into a library, but originally it was the school hall, and they would have taken the evacuated kids into there, where they would have been assigned a place to live whilst the war went on and London had the shit blown out of it. So anyway, bit of a short video, and just think I'll follow the train line up. This all used to be train line back in the old days. Like, how much has it all changed? All the train lines around there have got turned into footpaths, which, if you've got a push bike, they're nice and handy. Well, anyway, I think it's end of video. I think this is all I'm going to show. Annoyingly, I'm back at work next week, so there ain't going to be no filming of the barge going up the river, which is a bit sad, but hey ho. Anyway, end of vid.